Alright, hi, I'm Dallas. I am a trans man. I'm trans masc non-binary person. I'm trans. Fuck, I don't know what to call myself anymore. I'm a boy. And I like doing makeup, so, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do just sort of my basic everyday look. I call it my masc look, my masculine look. Look, gay panic for my editor. Thank you, Gavin. So the most important thing with any sort of makeup routine, any sort of makeup look is starting with a good base, and I like to make sure I always wash my face, and then I'm going to use a little bit of toner just because of my skin tone. I have oily skin because of all the testosterone. And I like to tone my face with some witch hazel product. I don't like using acids. I don't like using exfoliants because my skin's really sensitive. So I don't like using things like salicylic acid or stuff like that because it ends up irritating my skin more than preventing any breakouts, and then in the process the skin gets all dried out. So I actually really like using the Fat Water by Fenty. It's like a thickened sort of witch hazel solution, so it really helps calm your skin down while also, you know, helping to mattify it and dry it out in spots where it needs drying out in the oily places. Follow up with a moisturizer. Ideally, use one with SPF. Again, I'm using Fenty Skin Moisturizer. I just really like Fenty, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's for somebody who has really sensitive skin, you know, and I've been flip-flopping everywhere, so before I started transitioning, my skin was really dry, and it was like actually kind of combination, and my hormones would just decimate my face every week, and you know, I had a whole bunch of hormone issues before I started transitioning too, so there's a whole backstory there, but ever since transitioning, my skin is still as sensitive as it was before, but it's also really oily, which becomes a problem when I have to deal with acne, because so many acne products are like really kind of harsh. Now I'm just following up. I've got the Fenty Mattifying Primer. I'm just going to be putting that on sort of my problem areas where I really want my skin to stay oil free. So like I've got here on my nose and like around my chin, over here, everywhere I start sort of breaking out is where I'm putting my primer, because I just really want the makeup to sit smoothly there. You know, you want to make sure your skin's looking even and smooth so that you don't have to use as much makeup, and avoiding using as much makeup as possible is kind of the goal, because otherwise, you know, it gets caked on, and you're dealing with, like, layers and layers of makeup, and shit. Apologies in advance, because Gavin's gonna have to edit out this. What if I just do that every time?
No, God,
what if I just make it the most obnoxious interruption possible, so that Gavin knows exactly what was I doing? After I got my SPF on, I got my primer on in the places where I need it, I'm gonna follow up with the, Fenty got this new skin tint, which I love. It's the EAZE blurring tint. It's like in the same shades as all of their, foundations, which comes in 50 shades already, which is incredible. And I got matched online, and the person who matched me did a great job, and, like, I was kind of impressed. I thought my skin was actually darker than it is, and I think a lot of white people in particular make that mistake. We think our skin is darker than it is. We are pale, y'all, especially after a year indoors in a pandemic. Like, you are not the same shade you were last year, so get checked, because you're gonna need new foundation. So what I like to do is I just like to sort of drop it on my face, and then take my hands, and see what I mean? Like, it looks really pale. This is the shade 1 in the blurring tint, so this is the palest shade. But as it melts into your skin, and as it melts into the primer, you can see how all of the discoloration on my face is what's making my face look darker than it is. So I've got a bunch of redness, you know, I've got acne scars, I've got some just patchiness, but the true color of my skin, you know, as it blends into the neck and as it blends into the ear, you can see what my skin is actually supposed to be. And for a light covering, I will just do my fingers, you know, you want it to like melt into the skin as quickly as possible. You want it to take on that natural finish, you know, so that it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. One other thing with the Fenty makeups is, like, they are meant to be a long all-day wear, so it doesn't necessarily look exactly like your skin right as you apply it, but, you know, an hour later, it's sunk in and it's looking gorgeous, and like 8 hours later, it's still looking like your skin. That's what I love about the Fenty, is I can just put it on and forget about it. So I'm just kind of taking this tint and concentrating it in my more problematic places where my skin tends to get really blotchy, which is right here next to my nose. Just buff, 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 because you want that to melt right into your skin. Even go over the eyes a little bit if you want. You know, really get that in there. Now, I'm not wearing my glasses, so of course I'm gonna not be able to see what I'm doing, but you know, yeah, for a nice natural daily finish, this is a great option. I really love it. I just gotta get a little bit on my neck there, because I missed a spot. I do highly recommend trying to match your neck as much as possible, and not necessarily this part of your neck, because that's going to be a different shade. I'm talking about like the spot underneath your jaw, because that's a spot that doesn't see as much sun, and so that's a spot that's going to show you your true undertones. And if you are a pale white boy like me, definitely try to figure out, like, if you go out a lot in the summer and you do get, you know, that sun exposure, even with sunscreen, like, you're probably going to need a different shade of foundation in the summer, because, you know, white people, our skin fluctuates a lot more with sun, just because our skin really does fluctuate, you know, with sun exposure. Even when it's well protected, we still need sun, you know, we need that vitamin D from the sun. It's just that it also darkens our skin a little bit, and that's going to change which undertones are more prominent in our skin. So if you tend to have like a neutral tone like me, I find that in the summer I have to go for more golden shades of makeup, not necessarily warm, but like neutral gold, because the sun really brings out like the more green and yellow undertones of my skin. Now that I got a nice base, I want to get in there with my glasses. And if you wear glasses, make sure you do this. Get your glasses on as you go between stages. Sorry, I'm like bobbing back and forth because I don't have a good setup for the camera right now, because this is my first video, so the camera's just like draping off my mirror, and of course the lens is like smack dab right in front of my face, so I can't actually see my face in the mirror. I have to like lean in order to get a good look at my face. Now that I've got the Fenty base, I like using the same concealer, same brand concealer as whatever foundation I'm using, because quite often brands will formulate them to be used together. So you'll find that, for instance, the glossier concealer, which is another brand I really recommend for a no makeup look, that concealer melts into the skin a lot better when you use the skin tint prior to it. So, you know, these companies, they're really trying to make sure that their products work best when you use them together. So lean into that, especially because quite often they're going to be the same shade, and it's going to blend a lot better that way too. You know, a concealer that is the same shade as the foundation is going to blend into the foundation a lot more naturally. This is why I don't do much color correction, you know. I try to, if I do my job right, let me just get a little A little concealer for them under eye bags. My baggy under eyes, cause I got some tired. I'm tired. Forgot what I was saying. I have ADHD, y'all. This is gonna be a trip for you. But also, instead of using a concealer brush, I often tend to just like going in with the my foundation brush, because that's also gonna help it blend together a little bit better too. It's gonna really like really push that into the skin, really mix it up. See? Look at my chin. My chin already looks so much better. Really get that in there. Time to go. I hope this looks good.
2 seconds later.
Yeah, looks great. Alright, now that I've got my face kind of a little more smoothed out, you know, really sort of buff it into the neck. Again, buff, 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 yeah. Get buff from buffing. I'm sorry. What was I doing? Oh, right. I got my base done. So I've got a couple options next. I could do some more heavy contour. You know, I could really go in on like my nose, and I could really go in on the jaw and the chin and the cheeks and everything like that, and really try to define my face in a more masculine way. Or I could do it in the way that I do sort of on the daily, which is I really like to concentrate. I really like to concentrate the contour right here on this part of my nose to help define my nose, and right here to just sort of define the chin. Like I'll put a little bit here, you know, but I find that I like to, rather than changing the shape of the face that I have, I try to find the parts of my face that I would rather emphasize. So this is why I lean a lot into things like highlighters, because I don't want to draw attention to parts of my face that I don't like by piling on makeup or trying too hard to cover something up. You know, the harder you try to cover something up, the more people are going to notice it in all likelihood. So, and it's just, you know, it's just a thing I like to do. I think it's easier for me to, and I think it's healthier for me too, as well, to try and embrace the parts of my face that I like and magnify those, essentially, you know, help enhance them, help them stand out, rather than trying to cover up the things that I don't like. Because in the past, you know, in the past, my history with makeup was a lot of trying to cover up things I didn't like about myself, and trying to conform myself into fitting into a box that people thought I was supposed to fit into. You know, before I transitioned, a lot of people compared me to like Audrey Hepburn, like a lot of Hollywood, like old style glamour. I got really into vintage pinup fashion for a bit. You know, I got really good at doing classic makeup. I got really good at doing stage makeup. I got really good at, you know, doing super femme makeup. And it eventually became a way for me to sort of try to control who I was and try to hide who I was from myself. And that just became a really unhealthy way for me to use makeup. I became so focused on covering up and changing every aspect of my face, plucking my eyebrows, you know, to ridiculous shapes, you know, trying to do like lash growing and like, it's great if you want to do all that stuff. It's great if that's part of a way that you're enhancing yourself, you know, but for me it was a way of distracting myself from how I was really feeling. And I don't want to do that, you know. That's not really a healthy way for me to do it. So I'm just, you know, just trying to be good to myself now. And that's the thing, is I love makeup. Makeup really makes me happy. And I like using makeup, and I think everybody should feel comfortable to use makeup to enhance their faces any way that they want, you know, because it's their body. Men should be allowed to feel pretty. Men should be allowed to feel like they have tools to express themselves how they want to be expressed and to enhance themselves the way they want to be enhanced in a way that isn't harmful to them. So we put a lot of pressure on men to display in a certain way, but we ridicule them for using tools to get there and not just being that way naturally, not just naturally being, you know, flawless skin and like big beard. Like, you know, we shame men who are bald, we shame men who can't grow facial hair, but then if they take steps to fix that, they're ridiculed for needing to take those steps in the first place. Whereas women are encouraged to wear makeup, they're encouraged to enhance their beauty and hide their flaws. To a degree, of course, you know. I'm not saying that women who wear a lot of makeup aren't also, you know, held to a specific standard, because they are, you know. I've lived that life as well. But I just definitely feel like there's this pressure on men in particular to be perfect in a natural born way. Like it's a lot more about having the right genetics in order to be considered masculine instead of having the right technique. And that's what's really frustrating to me. Okay, so I've done, you know, part of my face. I did a little contour, so I'm just gonna check, make sure everything's all blended. I just really like this foundation brush. You know, hey, looking good. Like, my contour is not extreme, you know. You don't want it to be extreme because you gotta think about where you're displaying your face for the day when you do your makeup. If you're just gonna be taking photos, then you wanna sort of go heavier into the contours and shadows. You wanna control how the light is hitting your face. But if you're going out into the real world, you wanna think about, where is the light gonna be? What's the light gonna look like, you know? Is it gonna be raining? Is it gonna be humid? Is it gonna be super sunny? Like, am I gonna be in a fluorescent shop? You know, like, is this color, is this shadow gonna be too extreme once I go outside? And I think this is actually a pretty good contour. So next I'm gonna go in on the brows. I got this Kush, Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. I really love it. It kind of helps get a little extra volume onto the fibers of your eyebrows so they look a little fluffier without actually looking like they're filled in. I like to just kind of go, sort of find those tiny hairs and really dig them in there at first. So you want to get all the product off on like the middle of the eyebrow hair and closer to the root. And then you can go through and brush them into place. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with like big smears across your face. And then same thing for the other side. Just go, try to get backwards, get a little more. Try to like work backwards, you know, work that product into those fine baby hairs. Try to not slam the brush into the skin, because then you're gonna have to be wiping up after yourself, and nobody wants to do that. It's just really annoying when you have to do that on your makeup. Oh fuck, I just did it. We curse here. I am all about the swears. I'm not fucking censoring myself for this channel. Like, I don't give a shit if I'm not monetized. I do this shit for fun. Boy, look at those brows. Hey boy. I call this one Romulus, and that one's Remus. I named him after the two twins that founded Rome. Yeah, I'm a cool guy. God, what the fuck am I doing? Sorry Sorry, please forgive me being this way. I'm just gonna go in with my highlight now, because as I said earlier, you want to enhance and magnify the things about your face that you do like. So I've got this from About Face. Like, first of all, look at this container. It's gorgeous. It's from About Face Beauty by Halsey. It is Fight or Flight. It's like a little pinky nude shimmer, and it's just perfect on my skin tone. I fucking love it. Get a little there, and a little there, and a little there, there. Pull your glasses back again, then come in and it doesn't work if you don't make those noises. You gotta make the noises. Oh my god, what? Welcome to my channel. You can even get a little bit on the brow bone if you want. You know, you can get a little... You know, it's your highlight. It's your face. You put it wherever you want. I'm gonna get a little bit on the brow bone. I like to kind of connect my brow bone to my cheekbone in highlight. I feel like that gives me a little halo effect. And it doesn't, this is another thing with makeup, is it doesn't interrupt the glasses when I do that. So I still get this beautiful sort of boomerang look. But you know, it's outside of the glasses frame, so I'm not gonna be distorting my look this way. That's one thing I try to think about too, is like, what kind of glasses am I wearing? Try to fit the look to fit your glasses, because I'm not going without glasses. You will not catch me wearing contacts, like, ever. I hate contacts, and I'm sure as hell not getting laser surgery. Like, you are not putting anything into my eyeball. No. I don't care how good laser surgery has gotten, it's not happening. Absolutely not. I'm still feeling like I want a little bit of color in my face, so I would like to try to find some color. I don't know what I have that's color. Oh! Yes! Violet Voss makes the best eyeshadows. Like, they're really, really soft for fingers. They apply in like one swipe with just my fingers, which is great because I'm a finger painter. Even though I'm using brushes today, I am normally a finger painter, especially when it comes to my eyes. I just kind of like, and then I'm done. But like, holy shit, these colors. Fucking love them. I want to go in with a little bit of... what color? Let's see, my shirt's a little bit brown, so I'm going to go into the orange. The little pale orange there, that, and just really sort of buff that in. I know I did it after the highlight. Give me a break. Sort of get a little awesome in there. That's that kind of orangey red. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the color. There's the color I wanted. Yep, little orangey red. Little orangey red. That's the color awesome. That's that eyeshadow. I do this a lot. I use eyeshadow as blush frequently. I find it's more pigmented, and you don't have to use as much of it, and like, yeah, it does take a little bit of blending, depending on the type of eyeshadow you use, but I find it's overall worth it. Like, I would rather have less product on my face and more payoff, than have to like cake on product in order to get the blush I want. And I'm quite a fan of blush personally. I like, because of the glasses, I find I like to have to experiment a little bit more with makeup as it appears outside of my face. So I have to do a lot more with like highlighters and blushes in order to sort of play with the makeup I want to play with. This is quickly evolving from a mask face into a glam face, so I'm gonna have to stop at some point. this is a little bit of color. There we go. I've got some color on my face, you know. I've got some contour, I've got some highlight, I've got some coverage. I got my brows done. Oh, what am I forgetting? Oh, lips. You gotta moisturize them lips, you know, you gotta get that lip balm. I'm just really rubbing in there, you know. Go in, clean up any spots, you know. Once you get your glasses on, you're gonna realize that your aim and is not as great as you think it is, you know. So go in periodically as you take your glasses off and clean up spots. So like I cleaned off my brows. I got my lips all moisturized. I got this cleaned. And next, I want to do a little bit of neck contour. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this. I like doing it. Makes me feel good. So what you want to do when you do neck contour is you go in and you swallow and you feel where your bone, your larynx, kind of pops up as you swallow, and you go down to the bottom of that and you find that spot on your neck, and you're gonna make a V shape like that. Put one there, and then there. Next, you're gonna get your same little foundation brush, concealer brush. You're gonna go in and really blend that, you know? Really go up and down, up and down, up and down. Then go over here and go way up into go up into the ear. You know, you want that to blend with your foundation. Go down here above your collarbone, and then blend. Back at the Bob Ross noises, you know. Okay. At some point during the contour of my neck, the camera just decided to turn off. Don't know why. Gonna have to get a new camera at some point. I think this one's dying. But what I did was I just took a little bit of that same highlight that I used on my face. Where the fuck did my brush go? Took a little bit of the same highlight that I used on my face, and I put a little bit, you know, right in that light spot here, and then up on the light spot here on the collarbones. And then the same on the other side, just to bring, you know, some continuity in that dimension that I brought to my face down my neck as well. Because I don't want to do like a full beat face and have a whole bunch of glitter on my face and then look at my neck and it just looks bare. You know, that sort of breaks the effect, and then it becomes, you know, just a little bit jarring. I'm not a fan of it. So I like to try to keep the makeup going down the face as much as possible. Now that you've got your face, you can either decide, you know, how's your skin doing today? Do you want to set with powder? If so, you know, how much powder, what type of powder, all that kind of stuff. I think my skin's gonna do okay without powder, actually. You know, I'm feeling it. That matte primer really does help, but I think I want to get just a little bit of powder. I really do like that Fenty concealer for like blemishes, but I wish I had something a little bit different for my under eye, because my under eye tends to get really dark. But again, you don't want to focus too heavily on concealing when you're doing mask makeup. You want your skin to still look like skin. You want it to look real. You want it to look natural. You want it to have like dimension to it. You don't want it to be flat. But I do think that we've hit a good spot. This is, you know, if you always wanted to, you can go underneath your eye with a little bit of, like, brow liner. I like to use my brow pencil underneath my eye because I feel like that gives it a little bit more of a natural look. You can do that. You can go a little bit heavier on the contour, whatever you want in order to find that joy, you know. So I'm just there. I think this is a great place to stop for today's makeup. I am so into this look. I feel so fresh. I look so fresh. I am like shiny, and like everything matches my ears match my face, and like, you see what I was saying earlier, that that foundation looked like it was a lot paler than it is. Like, now that it's set into my face, now that it's like, you know, melted into my skin, like, that is what it is. This is my skin tone, you know? This is what my skin looks like. So really, don't be shaken by how pale it is. You are probably using a foundation that is too dark for you. Really check into that. And make sure, you know, wash your face, drink water. And have a good time. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Be nice to each other. Ask for each other's pronouns. Respect each other's pronouns. You know, that's a pretty easy one. I don't have a sign-off yet, so